Hey, it's James, Parents' Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. Out here rolling with my best friend. That's what it's all about. So, since I just showed you proof that I'm a victor, you probably should be listening to what I'm talking about. That's why I have my flow page with all the information that's available to help you get a head start. Make these attorneys look stupid. I'm always available for a consultation if you really want to get on top of this stuff. So, got a bunch of people who text me all day long. What about this quickie question? What about that quickie question? What about this quickie question? And they ask 14 different quickie questions and they can learn everything they need to learn by a consult. I don't get it. But if you don't want to talk to me or you're scared or whatever, you got my free videos, especially the ones on YouTube that are more thorough. But I want to talk about how your feelings in this are valid, but you're in a war. So I sound like a jerk half the time because I tell guys to man up and grow a pair and stuff, and they think I'm a jerk and I don't care about what they're going through. First of all, why would you think I wouldn't care? I went through the same thing. And I went through it for 20 years. Some of you guys are crying and whining about your very first hearing that you lost. I got nothing my first 4 hearings. It took 5 court hearings and 2.5 months for me to get anything. But I toughed it out. So I've been there about the feelings of, why the heck is this going on? Why didn't she just work with me? Me and my baby's mom had a great plan for 50-50. That's why I took a nighttime job. You know, I took a nighttime job. I changed my job to revolve my life around my kid like a lot of dads do. Gave the mother $500 a month while she's pregnant. Bought her a bed, a chair so she's comfortable during pregnancy, changing station, a crib. And then when she handed over custody to me, when she surrendered, after I beat the snot out of her and her attorney in the GAL, she went and sold all that in a garage sale. Like a buster. Anyway, all your feelings are valid. They're real. You walk into family court. I was just talking to a female client of mine. It's like this court inflicts PTSD on you, and then they do a psych eval on you, and they say there's something wrong with you because you've been traumatized because you were dragged into this war. Nobody gets mad at a soldier for having PTSD, right? But the thing about a soldier, like when you go to war, I mean, if you watch like Saving Private Ryan, I don't know if there's a better movie out there that depicts the ugliness of war and the hell that war is. You know, all those guys are in the boats, they're about to hit Normandy Beach, and they're all shaking and shivering. They know half of them are going to die. They go anyway. And, dang it, I wish I could straighten this up. They know they're about to die, but they go anyway. Their feelings are legit. They're scared. That's one thing real men do, though. Andrew Tate talks about it all the time. You don't feel like going into the burning building to save your family, but you do it anyway out of duty. Men just do stuff out of duty. You know, you worked 15 hours of overtime this week. You don't feel like it, but you do it out of duty to get that paycheck to put food on the plate for your kids and your family. Sorry, I'm adjusting this. I just don't want it to be annoyingly off angle if I could fix it. So, all of your feelings, when I talk harshly, I'm not dismissing your feelings and saying you shouldn't feel emasculated. You shouldn't feel disrespected. You shouldn't feel sad and upset or even depressed that you have to go through this hell. But the more you deal with the reality of what it is, the easier it is to cope with it. I'm not saying you shouldn't have feelings and fear and all that other stuff. I've told you guys before, I've been nervous. I've been in and out of court for 20 years, and I've destroyed people in court. I've won in the Court of Appeals. My main opponent was an attorney who retired with 50 years experience. He had 37 years experience when he came on board. When my daughter was 2 years old, she hired a different attorney with 37 years experience. I had 7 months experience when he came on board. I had 7 months experience with the court system. I destroyed him several times in courts. If I did it, a warehouse worker flunked out of college, you could do it. So I'd go home and not be seeing my daughter upset about it. And I'd whine and cry about it and be upset. Why does it have to be like this? I wake up the next day. This is what it is. What do I do to rescue my kid? You know, if you're stupid enough to not pay attention to your kid at a mall and somebody kidnaps your kids, that's tragic. That's horrific. But if you sit around and whine and cry and pout about your poor kid and you don't go searching for your kid and do something about it, then you're twice the neglectful parent. You know, your feelings of your kid getting kidnapped are valid, but you got to do something about it. You're the parent. You're the hero. You're the one who's going to rescue them. Nobody cares. The cops aren't investigating. The cops aren't going out and looking for your kid or whatever. You know, you still got to do something about it if the authorities don't help you. The government's not going to help you in family court. You know, you sit and just blindly trust in a guardian ad litem, a psychologist, a parenting evaluator. You trust the system to do the right thing, and you passively sit back while everybody's attacking and railroading you, and you're waiting and hoping for somebody else to stand up for you. You need to stand up for you. That's the reality of this stuff. That being said, yeah, along the way, it's hell. War is hell. It's not fun. A soldier wants to go back home to be with his family, his wife and kids. Or a young soldier, like back in the day, they're 18, they want to be back to mom and dad. Those are legit feelings. Those are legit concerns. But in order to get back to normalcy, you have to go through hell to go to war. And to prepare for war, you had to go through boot camp. So this is the way that it is. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a counselor. You know, I'm not even necessarily your friend. I do have friends who come out of, you know, me helping people. Friendships are created and maintained and stuff like that. But those people who are friends are still realize, like, I'm somebody who needs to make a living doing this, so they still pay me for my time when they get consults. But, you know, I have a couple of friends who I've hung out with on spare time, brought my daughter around, hang out with their daughters or whatever. But when it comes down to this, I mean, yeah, I might be the only person in the world that actually cares about your case. But that doesn't mean I want to sit on the phone and talk to you for an extra hour above and beyond our consult and talk about mutual stuff. I've dealt with 1 million people like this. Well, not 1 million, 25,000. I got hundreds of others who want to hit me up and want to contact me. And only like 1 out of 2 of them want to actually get a consult. But they want to milk me for free information. They want to text me. They want to pretend they want to get a consult to try and sneak information out of me. So I'm weeding through that stuff all day long. I'd love for us to have all of eternity to sit around and talk about this, but I don't have time. So the stuff that's going to help you is you go get therapy, you talk to your new girlfriend or your new wife, or you tough it out. I'm not here to receive all the energy of everybody's whining and crying and pouting and upset. I'm not crapping on you whining and crying and pouting. But if that's all you're doing, that's what I'm sick and tired of. Okay? Your feelings are valid. You got betrayed. Your baby's mom was a Judas. Me and my baby's mom, we went to the same church. We were like a church family. We did stuff together all the time. Then right before my daughter was born, the church had a controversy and a lot of people left. So then all of a sudden, the fake phony side of her and her family that were pretending to be all godly and care about, you know, loving people despite them doing you wrong and stuff like that and the golden rule, that was all out the window because now the psychotic narcissist in the family got to take over. So that sucked. That was the first major Judas betrayal I had in my life. Actually, one of my own roommates, a guy named Kimo Evans, K-I-M-O, out of Tacoma, Washington. He wrote a declaration. He's the only man who testified against me. So I lump him in with all the women who testified against me because that was a sellout punk move if I've ever seen one by a male in my entire life. He's a graphic arts designer in Tacoma. So if you don't want to support a sellout man who tries to destroy a father-daughter relationship, don't get graphic arts work from Chemo Evans. His wife, Mary Soulshide Evans, works at Washington State Employee Credit Union. She rummaged through my bank account because I had an account there, totally separate from her, because I worked at the University of Washington, and that's the main bank account that they offered through employment there. She rummaged through my bank account and came to court talking about when I opened an account and said that I was stalking her and all this stupid bull crap. And my own branch manager told me to complain about it. And then she goes to court to get a restraining order against me because I'm harassing her at her job when she came to court to testify against me. So she came to testify to make it up to my baby's mom, who hated her guts. It's funny. Two rival women who liked me at one point, all of a sudden, they're best friends, even though my baby's mom was talking major crap about her. And my baby's mom used to talk crap about Chemo Evans. So Chemo Evans was a roommate of mine, a couple of buddies from college. We rented the same house together. We're all part of the same social circle. Even when we weren't involved in church activities, we'd be going to a Mariners game together, the movies, we'd have barbecues. Just say we go to a UW football game or whatever. We were doing stuff like 5 to 7 days a week around each other all the time. It was literally like family, the community that we're a part of. And half those people, mostly women, I would say, well, all women, and I include Chemo Evans in that, came to court helping the mother or slandered me, and all of a sudden they weren't my friends anymore because the mother... I had relationships with people for a decade. My baby's mom, I have a kid with her. All of a sudden she says, oh yeah, James is a monster, this and that. All of a sudden those people believe her 5-minute story over my 10-year relationship with them. That's some trifling bullcrap. Like my relationship with you all these years before I even knew my baby's mom. That's just all canceled out because she said that, I'm bitter and I want to be with her and I'm only fighting for my kid to be with her. And it turned out I haven't talked to my baby's mom in 20 years. I've been involved with my daughter for 20 years. So I understand. I've been there. But I don't want to sit around and talk about that all day. I have the tools and answers for you to win in court. I want to share that with you. Don't you want to get there? I get people who want to talk about how they're going to sue the judge. Maybe I said this in my last video. They want to sue the judge. They want to sue the system. They want to be part of what's it called? When you have a lawsuit with a big whole corporate group of people. Class action lawsuit. They want to be a part of a class action lawsuit. And all you got to do is just read and Google that every time anybody's ever tried stuff like that for the past 50 years, it hasn't done anything. I want to help you win your kid back now. That should be your priority too. People got these grandiose versions. I'm going to talk about the Treaty of 1642, and I'm going to talk about being a sovereign nation. Go ahead and lose, and then take that to the United States Supreme Court in 9 years. And while your kids are being alienated, maybe you'll be able to prove a point and win something with your stupid ego that cares more about some legal personal victory against a judge than rescuing your kids. We don't have time for all that bullcrap. I want to help you win now and share the tools that's worked for hundreds and thousands of dads. Stop counting it. 300 dads that got full custody without an attorney. There's thousands of dads who've done better after they fired their attorney. I want to share that with you, but you want to talk about how much it hurts and how much it sucks and all this other stuff. I get it. I mean, if you want to pay me to sit there and listen to that for an hour, because you could talk for days about the betrayal and stuff, we're already there. We're already in this war. So let's go and fight and knock this war out, and then after we win, we got all kinds of stories to talk about. Your feelings are valid. What you're going through is valid. I never want anybody to think I'm dismissing what you feel like you shouldn't feel it. But feel that while you're going to war. Get on the offensive. If you're in a war, you guys can talk about, while you hear the bombs going and you're in your tent, you're waiting for the next, strategy to plan out. You're going to ambush the enemy over here. You go out tomorrow morning or whatever, while you're sitting around a campfire or whatever, talk about how war sucks and you wish you were home. But you better get that gun and it's kill or be killed. But I don't have time or the energy to take on everybody's frustration with the system. Let's go to war and let's fight. If you want to do that, I'm here to help you. If you don't, there's nothing else I can do for you. I'm not going to fix us having a pouting session isn't going to fix it. I want to help you fix this stuff. So Just want to let you know your feelings are valid, but you got to go to war.